Was it? This one? No. This one? No. I have one of these all set up. The hell? Which one was it? Oh, there it is. All right. Now live with Frag Logic, episode number 80. I'm solo today, and as a result, we're gonna do open phones here in a bit. Hopefully everything's good. Check, check, check. Yeah, I think we're good. So here, because I'm solo, let's go and get rid of the logo and do this instead. As Skype starts chiming. Okay. So Kale might join us through the call. I don't know how. I'm doing it through Hangout, so it's going to be a complete pain in the ass. We'll see what happens. So the big news today, obviously, was Gamescom. Lots of news coming from both Sony and Microsoft. I don't think I saw anything from Nintendo. I could have just missed it. But I didn't see anything from Nintendo. But there was lots of news from the Microsoft conference focusing on exclusives. And then Sony pretty much focused on their exclusive games as well. So that was kind of the theme of the show. Real quickly, do the usual weekend gaming as everyone files in. I've been playing Divinity: Original Sin. I mentioned it on the show a week or so ago that I was playing it. It's like a RPG in the style of like old Baldur's Gate games, which was one of my favorites when I was growing up. So I've been having a lot of fun. We played it like 12 hours straight on Saturday or Friday, and then another 5 or 6 hours last night, and we're still in the first damn area. So it's a pretty damn long game. And we're not like playing super fast or flying through. We're kind of exploring everything. There's all sorts of cool ways to break the game and kind of exploit things. So all in all, really good game. Also played on iOS a game called Rules, which is just released, I think, a few days ago. It was on the App Store. I'll show you guys. It's a really hard game to show, but in Frag Logic tradition. So what they do, they give you a series of rules you have to follow. So like the first one is tap in like descending order. So you would go tap in descending order. I'm doing this off memory because I know which ones they are. So, and then after you clear it, oops, within time, then the next level they'll give you another rule. So this one's tap all greens, and you go on, do it faster and faster. It was, I want to say $1.99, which is overpriced. Oh hey, we got someone calling in. Hey, yeah. All right. Should be good if you can hear me all right. All right. So your flight got canceled? Are you guys stranded, or are you like waiting on the next one? Oh, okay. Nice. So you're still in Germany airport, right? Or are you still U.S.? Oh, you guys didn't go over yet? I thought you guys were already there and coming back early. Dang, you guys missed the opening of the show. Have you been following all the news today? Yeah. Yep. Okay, so you missed most of the announcement. There's actually a lot of news. I was surprised at how much news came out of Gamescom. Yeah. Just I was laughing because someone in chat, and I don't want to scroll all the way up, had said that Microsoft had won the show. It's like, damn, I didn't realize you could win Gamescom. I didn't realize that was something that we were tracking. But I mean, they did do proper conferences this year, so I don't know. Maybe there are winners and losers. Did you play anything over the weekend? It's just wrapping up weekend gaming. Yeah. Okay. Sorry, that's Father Russia. I guess the shout out for that one. All right. So I'm still going to do open calls. I've got this extra window over here, which I can turn on now, and you guys will see why I don't have it on. Because then we get two of me, which isn't really ideal. Let me make sure that's fixed. All right. So if you guys hop in, I put the link down underneath guests, so that's the link there. And I'll pop it in chat as well. I don't know what the process is for joining this because this is my first time using Google Hangouts on air. So if you guys suffer through it, then let me know if there's problems. I'm just going to start going right through the new stuff. We'll start with Microsoft. They showed a lot of trailers. And let me pull up a few, actually. And just in chat, what were you like most excited about from the Microsoft conference? It was really early in the morning. It was like 8 a.m. So I actually caught a VOD. Personally, they showed a 8-minute like Quantum Break gameplay too, which I wanted to talk about. But here was the yeah. It looked like Alan Wake, realistically. Like it didn't seem like it had gone anywhere from what Alan Wake's gameplay was. Let's see. Yes, that was my biggest update. I forgot entirely because I've had it all weekend. So I've got this new. It's 200 down and 30 up. I think it was when I did my test. From Time Warner for free. That's the most positive thing I'll ever say about Time Warner. and it's only because there's pressure now in town in terms of having we have like 3 or 4 internet services now with Google coming in. All right, so here's personally for me the biggest news was the Halo 5 Guardians multiplayer beta kind of like making of trailer. I'm gonna play it on stream now. Seven maps. Yeah, that looks cool. I feel like they've really gotten back to their roots with Halo 5 as far as like what Halo is. Did you happen to see the video, Kale? I don't know if you saw it this morning. If you're still with me. Okay. They announced be 7 maps and 3 modes during the beta. 7 maps and 3 modes. which Chad has already picked up on is more than Gears Judgment. Yeah. For the beta. So, and they also said identical starts, no loadouts, was the other big thing which everyone's excited about. And the Halo 2 Master Chief Collection will have the Halo 2 ranking system with 1 to 50 ranks as well. So that's what pretty much everyone was excited about. They also showed midship in the Halo 5 beta video. At least it was a midship. It was modified. It was a modified midship, but it was midship. No, Halo 2, Halo Reach had Zealot. And I think 3 or Reach, one of those guys had a DLC that had midship as well. And so yeah, no loadouts, fair start. They even had it as like a marketing type thing, saying that there's fair starts. So I thought it was pretty funny pointing that out in these days. Um, yeah, it's 29th through like mid-January. Halo 3 had Heretic. That's right. So yeah, that was the Halo news. I think that was probably the thing which had more people most excited on my timeline, at least. And then on Monday, Activision unveiled the Call of Duty Modern Warfare or Advanced Warfare multiplayer. Did you watch all that stuff? Okay, I'm pulling up the trailer now. I forgot to grab it earlier. What do you think? I don't think it looks as much like Titanfall as people are saying. It's similar, yeah. Shorter distance, though. I think one of the weapons or equipment or something is like the vision from Titanfall. All right, I'm gonna roll the video. Uh-oh. Maybe not. Let's try that again. I don't know why that broke. As I oh yeah, it's a freaking OBS bug. 1 second, guys. Only played it for like 3 seconds. We got an Inception bassoon. All right. Why is it still not showing? Yeah, all right, there we go. Playing now. All these shots are scripted, by the way. So yeah, that looks really sick to me. See, personally, I think it looks a lot more like Crisis. I think that's the more direct comparison. It's not as horizontal as Titanfall. Like Titanfall is really horizontal and like everything's spaced out because you can get across the map so quickly by wall running and keeping momentum and everything. This definitely seems more vertical in the vein of Crisis, although the side dodging is something which I think Crisis could have benefited from a lot in multiplayer because it felt like you didn't really have a lot of options in combat. Just like you had lots of options to get around the map, but not much once you actually got into a fight. So that's kind of the gist I got from it. I mean, like even the way this kits are set up, like you can have active camo, or you can have this shield, or you can have this movement stuff. Like that's basically how Crisis multiplayer was set up. It went two ways though, because Titanfall also had the same thing with Call of Duty. Yeah, yeah, it's not lots of horizontal movement. Yeah, it's funny you mentioned Unreal because for me, I was watching the gameplay and it was like, shit, this is really Unrealish when there's like all the side dodging. But the one thing which kept bothering me was that there wasn't the wall plant. You know what I mean? Like the wall jump in Unreal kind of tied everything together, I felt like. And it's really weird seeing there's no interaction with the walls at all in Call of Duty, where like Titanfall has the wall run, Unreal had the wall dodge or jump. But in this case, like there was nothing, and it seemed kind of out of place at times because it was like he was dodging towards the wall and then would just kind of fall down it. So like that was one of the things which was like, damn, this is like so uncannily like Unreal movement, but it's not quite the same. But that said, it looks way better than Crisis did to me. I'm actually pretty excited for it. I'd probably put it like up there with Halo, but not as high as like Halo 5. Like Halo 5 to me now is my most anticipated multiplayer game coming up. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's kind of gimped Battlefield evolution. Yeah, they had mentioned that one of the maps that they showed was like a traditional like 3-lane CTF map, and if that's like the direction for a lot of the maps, then I think they'll be fine. Just because it's really hard to break that formula. Although vertical movement can break those lanes pretty easy, so it'd be interesting to see just how much they break those up and kind of limit your movement. Because really, you could make it really Swiss cheesy really quick, and then it kind of breaks apart, which would be like the complete opposite of most Call of Duty maps, where it's like you're forced into these chokes and you can't really move around because of it. All right, so the other big news thing from Microsoft was the Tomb Raider announcement. I don't know if did you hear about this? They're being very careful with the wording on this. That the next Tomb Raider is Xbox exclusive, but it's worded like the way they've said it every single time is Xbox exclusive in holiday of 2015. So it sounds like it's a holiday exclusive is what everyone's kind of getting from it because they aren't explicitly saying it either way. But obviously it's a big departure considering that Tomb Raider is a PlayStation franchise. Like it really is. Going all the way back to the first one, which I think was on PlayStation 1. It's been a PlayStation franchise. So it would have been a pretty big disappointment for people if it doesn't end up on a PlayStation console at some point. And for gamers, like really, it's a lose-lose for gamers. Anytime they do exclusive deals on stuff which wouldn't normally be, because I mean, like if you're on Xbox, you get the game, whatever. But then a large portion of players don't get to play, and they would have expected to because they played the previous one in the franchise. The developer is Crystal Dynamics, publisher is Square Enix. Yeah. So I'm really expecting it just to be a holiday exclusive based on the verbiage they've been using, and really explicitly saying holiday 2015. I wish they would just be more transparent about it. If they're just going to speak through their teeth, you know what I mean? Let's see. Also, the other day they announced Roller Coaster Tycoon World, which is a new Roller Coaster Tycoon reboot. There was the mobile one earlier this year, which everyone hated because it was microtransaction heavy, and it wasn't really a Roller Coaster Tycoon game. This is actually, it seems like, a true to the game, true to the series installment, but it's being developed by a developer that's like done nothing good at least. I don't know what to expect there, but that's interesting. Also, Microsoft announced a Roller Coaster Tycoon similar game called Scream Factory. Damn it. Scream Ride. Where the goal is to make people scream. I was trying to... Here, I'll show that real quick too, because it's a short trailer. I'm curious if they're using... they show lots of destruction stuff, and I'm kind of curious if they're using the same tech that Crackdown's supposedly using with the cloud. Computing for destruction. Microsoft must have paid them a lot. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing, considering that they complained that it didn't sell, right? So to make that exclusive must have been expensive, which is, again, why I think it's probably a timed exclusive. Yeah, so like here's a list of, here's the developer. I put it in chat. Pipeworks is the name of the developer for Roller Coaster Tycoon. Their last major game they worked on would be like a Jeopardy port and Wheel of Fortune port for consoles. And here's Scream Ride. This was announced today. So that trailer's just weird. I can't. I couldn't put my finger on it this morning, but I think the weird thing is that it's the type of game that probably shouldn't take itself seriously. But that was like an intense horror movie soundtrack over that. But it still seems interesting. I've played a lot of Roller Coaster Tycoon as a kid, and really like my sole goal when I played that game was to make coasters that would send people flying. And like that seems pretty much what the entire purpose of the game is just to yeah, in the most hilarious ways possible. Like I'd build like the log ride and have it go up a hill and fling them through I'd make a loop on another roller coaster so they go through the loop. Like that was the entire purpose of playing Roller Coaster Tycoon for me. Like I didn't go for the making money. I just went for the terrify the passengers. That is true. My rides had low fun ratings in general because they were all terrifying. The intensity rating was through the roof, though. So this game seems like that's the entire purpose, is to make rides that either kill the passengers or make them as close to dead as possible, which is interesting. And that was a Xbox exclusive being developed by an Xbox studio in Europe. I can't remember the name, and it's not listed here. Let's see. I think that's it for like the big Xbox announcements. They talked a little bit about Forza, or Forza, say it correctly. They added a few new cars, and then they announced a bunch of multiplayer-focused features for Forza Horizon 2. But there was nothing that really stood out to me. It's all like stuff that Drive Club's already doing. So like all of them will have like the same similar feature set for that kind of stuff, I think. And then Smite is coming to Xbox One. Yeah, I was kind of surprised. Yeah, for the most part. I mean, there's a few spells which are like targeted on the ground, which might be kind of weird. All right. All right, cool. Thanks for calling in. And with him leaving, just a reminder. Let me go ahead and hit that. Just a reminder that open calls, so if you guys want to pop in, you can. Otherwise, I'll just be talking to myself, showing videos from Gamescom, and giving some thoughts, reading the chat. It should be still at that link, and if it's not, let me know. So yeah, Smite's coming to Xbox, which is pretty big. I think it'll be a pretty fun game on the Xbox, actually. I don't know if people will like dig into it a lot, because it's not like a traditional Xbox type of game, so it'll be interesting to see. I didn't actually catch the Sony conference, so I was hoping that someone had, like, what are some things that were shown that were interesting to you guys, and I can pull them up and we can talk about it. Quantum Break is the one we didn't discuss for Microsoft. I watched it. I watched the full gameplay. Again, like, there was nothing impressive to me. They showed, it's like I'd say it's pretty like generic third-person cover shooter. The like catch is that there's like this time control element, but really it's just kind of like bullet time. It seemed like where you kind of fire it and then shoot a bunch of bullets and hit play and then it kills them. From a narrative perspective, it seems pretty interesting. Like if you're interested in like more story-driven shooters, then it seems like it could be something that'd be cool. But I don't want to show the full 8-minute gameplay. DayZ for PlayStation 4. Did they actually show anything, or did they just say it's going to be on PlayStation 4? I got the link right here, actually. That'd be pretty big news. I wonder when they're going to finish it, though, because the PC version's still pretty rough, right? Let's see. Until Dawn, Bloodborne, Rhyme. Yeah, I'll show the Rhyme trailer. I did watch that one. While I grab the others. Rhyme looks a lot like a Zelda game. I don't know how like in depth it'll be comparatively, but if you guys haven't seen it, it's actually a pretty cool trailer. Come on. Rocky training montage. Yeah, so you guys call it the other game which comes to mind, which is Ico. But it looks pretty interesting. Again, it's very much Wind Wakery, and maybe it's just the art style which makes it feel that way, but kind of like just the journey across the lands kind of theme. It's pretty cool. I saw other mentions. Silent Hill on PS4. I didn't see that, but I heard the announcement. Let's see if I can grab a video. Look up Wild. All right, I've got it queued. Was there a video for Silent Hill? Uh, okay, I think I found it. Haven't screened this, so I'm sorry if this is not actually the trailer. I meant to catch up on all the Sony stuff before the show. They showed a lot. Again, like I was blindsided by how much stuff was shown during Gamescom. Usually, it's like everyone shows stuff at E3. Sometimes stuff is shown at PAX. Gamescom usually gets some playable stuff, like for the first time. But all right. Wow. Really? That's a good fit. So do they actually have it playable at the show floor? Wonder if there's any video around. That's pretty interesting. I haven't played a Silent Hill game in a long time. Let's see. Hell, just go ahead and continue. This is wild since everyone in chat was talking about it. I haven't heard anything about this. Skeleton was fabulous. Oh shit. Wait, you can become animals? Is that true? Sounds like the Wild Arms overworld music. You can ride birds? Oh, I'm so in. That's really cool. Are you serious? You can be any animal? Is that true? Or are you just jerking my chain? I can also become a giant tree lady? What? Like, what's the point of the game then? Is it just to become the giant tree lady? That sounds really cool. I like games that are like in a kind of like old fantasy type setting. That seems very much along those lines. It looks like that's a really cool art style for that too. Nice, that's really cool. Beastmaster ripoff. Bird Rider Sim. I'd play a Bird Rider Sim. I think I would. Is it like MMO? Like, is there large multiplayer, or is it just like a single player game? It seemed like it was multiplayer. I assume. That seems insane. From Rayman creator Michael Ansel allows you to explore a massive open world embodying the many creatures you find. That's really cool. All right, I got blood porn. Now I said it. Queued up as well. It is multiplayer. Nice. I really wish OBS would change this so you could just select a browser as a source and leave it. every time you open it up. All right. This is Bloodborne. I'm super excited for this game, by the way. I don't know if I'll... Man, I need a PlayStation. I need to save up and buy a PlayStation. Just has to happen. All right, play. Wow, I love that architecture. It's like what Van Helsing the game should have been like. Yeah, it looks like everything the Van Helsing should have been. Both the movie and the game. And it looks cool. Is there a release date? I don't think I've checked recently. 2015. There's gonna be a lot of fun stuff coming out next year for PlayStation. More so, like Xbox is gonna get like Halo at the end of the year, but besides that, like there's a few games here and there. But I've seen a lot of Sony stuff queuing up, which all looks interesting. Is there another thing I was missing from Sony? I don't know if I even want to show Metal Gear. I feel like at this point, if you haven't played all the Metal Gear games, like you have no chance of entering the series. Like I've tried a couple times to enter the series, and it's just so freaking brutal. All right. Until Dawn. All right. Oops. Just get the Legacy Edition of Metal Gear. I mean, the thing is, like, I don't want to play through old games at this point. You know what I mean? Like those old PlayStation games are so freaking hard to play now, especially when you're not like a fan of the series. And like the little that I played of the other games just made no sense to me at all, so it was hard to get into it. All right, this is Until Dawn, also Sony. Tree annotation out here. Oops. Supermassive. Eh, looks like it's like Cabin in the Woods, the game, minus the big meta aspect. That seems all right. I'm not excited for that though. Again, yeah, I agree with Hawk. That looks like a movie trailer more than a game trailer. PS4 horror experience. Why does PS4 just like it has a large horror audience? I guess would be the only explanation for how many horror games come out on PlayStation only. There was one more game that was listed. Tomorrow Children. I'll take a look. I don't want to show the order because we've shown it before on the show several times at the different shows. So unless there's like something crazy new, I'll pass on showing it because we're showing a lot of trailers tonight. This better not be another horror game. Oh, I doubt it, considering it says Peggy 7. All right, this is the Tomorrow Children. The fuck is this? The sudden urge to support the motherland. That was so weird. The fuck? I can genuinely say I have no idea what the game's about after watching that, which could be a good thing. But I can't tell if you play with one person or if you build everyone or if it's multiplayer or what. That's really strange, though. It still seems like it'd be interesting to play, though. Tell me with the jetpack. See, that doesn't even seem like Japan weird. Like that's like straight again. Like they used Russian propaganda, but it seems Russian weird. Like it's a game like a small studio in Russia would make to me if they were allowed to. I see a few mentions for Hellblade. This is why they've been in our Dota games, just getting us ready. I will do Hellblade here on the Collins Frag Logic movie hour. See, when no one joins the call, we're just gonna watch movies all day. It's gonna be like when you have a substitute in class. Just go right to the movies. Don't even bother talking to people. If no one's gonna participate, we'll just watch movies. Looks like lemmings with guns. Chun, chun, chun. All right, this is Hellblade. Is this an announcement? Looks like it. Like trailers open with a quote. Open with a quote. Those eyelashes. Yeah, let's say it looked like Heavenly Sword. That looks pretty cool. Obviously, it's just a rendered CG trailer, but it seems like it'd be pretty interesting. I've enjoyed like the Ninja Theory games have been pretty cool all around. Oops. Yeah, that looks pretty cool. I think the last one I've seen mentioned a bunch is Alienation. You guys earlier said that Xbox won the event. I mean, like the Master Chief stuff's cool, and Halo 5 looks amazing, but this is a lot of quantity from the Sony stuff. And let's see, Alienation. And again, to clarify, I'm still of the opinion you can't really win the event. Just saying. I don't think it's an event that is worth winning or able to be won. You just show some cool shit. Yeah, the Tomb Raider thing has a lot of people butthurt. Like, there's a lot of people upset about that. But I still don't think like Xbox people getting excited about it being an exclusive. You know what I mean? Like, if you're the type of person that gets excited that other people don't get to play a game, you are a dick. Just saying. Just saying. Like, there's no way around it. Unless you are someone that works in marketing at Xbox. If you get excited over someone not being able to play a game like Tomb Raider, then you are a dick. So, like, yeah, I mean, you say they won with Tomb Raider being exclusive, although it sounds like it's a timed exclusive. But at the end of the day, like, you're celebrating the fact that other people don't get to play a game, and you do. Do you realize how ridiculous that is? All right, let's watch some Alienation. Joystick, joystick, joystick. So many effects. You can't see shit. I'll say eh. That's my personal opinion. This probably a smaller studio doing that. That's not a $60 type game, right? Seems alright. Seems alright. I mean, yeah, like Sony fans get happy when Microsoft news, like bad news, crops up. Like that's also a bit dickish. Like the only time that it's justified, in my opinion, is when you're more making a comment about like the business practices of a company. So like if like Microsoft or Sony did something that was very anti-consumer, and you're not happy about them because they did something that was anti-consumer, that's fine. But when you get to a point where it affects actual gamers, that's the point where you're a dick. Like that's the point where the line is crossed. When it's not about businesses anymore, and it becomes about other people not being able to play a game, which would otherwise be multi-plat, that's where it crosses the dick line. And it happens both ways. It happens with Microsoft, it happens with Sony fans. But if you're like that invested that you want other people to have a bad experience and not be able to play the game they like, then that is a dick move. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, we showed the Halo 5 beta at the top of the show. I was talking about how pumped I was. No, you don't need to gloat about anything. You're just an Xbox gamer because you bought a console. Like, it doesn't make any sense. You bought a console. Like, you shouldn't be too invested about sales things either. Like, there was a news article earlier this week about that Microsoft had lost $400 million or something like that. Uh, like, why would you be invested in that? Like, really, if you're a gamer, you should be upset whenever you see bad sales for a console or for a company. Like, that's indicative of the industry, not necessarily the company. And again, it's like if it did come down to business practices and you are something against the company itself, that's fine. But like once it gets to the people, that's fucked up. Actually, you shouldn't get too invested about business sales. Like, if you aren't working for that company, why do you care what their sales are like? Like, you have no benefit from it. Show Halo 2 Sanctuary. It's really beautiful. The people who worked on that did a great job. You gotta watch out for that dick line. Like sometimes you have to just keep an eye out. Make sure you don't cross that dick line. Everything before the dick line's fine. Yeah, the company I work for made Sanctuary for Halo 2, the one they showed off today. Looks really good. It's probably one of the best, like, without any bias at all, it's probably one of the best looking Halo maps that have been made. Really beautiful waterfalls and stuff. Let's see. Was there anything else that you guys wanted to show? I can show the. I don't want to show Drive Club. I'm not a racing guy. I don't think most people who watch the show are racing guys either, to be honest. UC4 will dominate TR on PS4? What is UC? What are you calling UC? That's not Unreal Championship. Like that's what UC is. I don't know any other UC. Oh, Uncharted, of course. To me, UC will always be Unreal Championship. Like it's not going to get replaced. Just like God will always be Gears instead of God of War, even though those came out around the same time. And yeah, if I show Drive Club, then I have to show Forza, right? And then we'll be here all night watching videos. Super Hot? Did they show more Super Hot? That game's different enough that I'll show it. Super hot. Super hot. Super hot. Man, I'm still thinking about Bloodborne. That looks so fun. And Wild. Wild looks nasty too. I wonder when Wild's gonna come out. I have to read more up on Wild. I'm gonna do it right after the show. Although I doubt they've released much if they just did their launch trailer today. Alright. Super hot. Was this part of Microsoft's conference? At the beginning? I must have missed it. Man, that's pretty cool. I wonder what that game's called. I was kind of hoping they would go in like a Portal direction with that, where it started out all like training fieldy, like with the really basic textures, and then eventually open up into a really realistic world like Portal did. Like that'd be pretty neat. And you'd be playing like a modern shooter with the crazy time mechanic. Be cool. All right, that was really all I had today. Was just talk about Gamescom stuff. I think we burnt through just about all the trailers. We talked about COD, which was yesterday. I didn't talk about esports features for COD, but they basically have all the stuff that's necessary announced. Yeah, it was a pretty terrible trailer. I agree, Fluffy. That's not a good trailer. They didn't show like what the game was, which is the entire point of a trailer for a smaller studio game. Yeah, it's pretty bad. Let's see. So yeah, COD has all the spectator stuff needed, announced already, which is important. I really, really hope that H5 gets spectator stuff. Be cool. So we'll do wrap up. Do one-man Q&A, or if you guys have any topics in the chat, then feel free to chime in. Yeah, I saw they released the UT4 stuff to the public. Before you could do it anyways, like I could, with my Unreal Engine subscription, I could download it, build the game, and then post it somewhere. So like, realistically, that was always an option. But they did release the pre-alpha to the public, so you can play Unreal Tournament 4 without getting the engine stuff now. Yeah, Robin Williams. I watched a few hours of his stand-up last night. When I was sitting here, I had a fucking awful headache last night, so I was watching Robin Williams, though. It's sad. Yep, we talked about Halo 5 at the top of the show. I think it looks sick. Like, I am super excited for Halo 5. New Twitch VOD system. And it was expected. And VODs is a really small part of Twitch. There's a few. I think they could have done a lot more to make the transition better. Like, really, they should be educating and like working to provide alternate solutions. So, like for example, they could partner with Spotify and run things through Spotify with like some kind of interesting embedded system. They could partner, like Monster Cat, for example, announced that they would be partnering with some users to provide their entire catalog for streaming. They could have made it so they're separate audio tracks, so like I could have my reactions saved to a VOD, but then just drop all my music out from the VOD so the music only plays live. Like that's all stuff which they could have done with a bit of tech support and tech work. I would have liked to see them do something like that instead of going to the YouTube like scorched earth approach of just automated tagging everything and muting. Like that system is so awful, and YouTube has proven time and time again that false positives are all over the place. And then the appeals process on YouTube at least isn't there. Like you can't appeal shit on YouTube without getting screwed. Like there's no support to talk to. A lot of times it's pretty evident your case isn't even read. You just get an automated response back, or like a check yes or no response. Like maybe someone looked at it, maybe they didn't, but you have no way of telling. You don't even get feedback sometimes on what's being claimed against yours. So like that's all issues with the automated systems. And Twitch, for now, is saying they'll review it, and there's like an appeal button on the videos now. But as they scale, or if they get tons of reports, then I think they'll have trouble keeping up with the demand. So it's going to be something that's going to be like really hard for them to maintain and keep the users in keep the users at the top of the mind. You know what I mean? Like it's really hard to do. So I just wish they would have looked at more tech solutions before going with that approach. But again, it was expected. Like the legal area is kind of gray, but everyone is pretty much taking the safe approach of preemptively muting stuff or removing audio or flagging videos. I'm not really excited for Order 1886, personally. It doesn't look interesting to me. And I'm very much like a big fan of like vampires and werewolves and old like 18th century worlds, like fantasy worlds and that kind of stuff, but for some reason the stuff they've shown from the actual gameplay portion of the game hasn't got me interested. But I'm still excited for Bloodborne. If I get the spare money at some point, I'll probably drop and get a PlayStation 4. I've just been PC gaming lately, so it's like there's a lot of stuff I can play on PC if I wanted to. Evolve beta. Was there news? I know a lot of people were questioning if the beta was still going to happen. Xbox One only. That's kind of surprising. Xbox One only beta for Evolve in January. I played the alpha recently. I can't say anything beyond that. So I've already gotten my fill for now. Sunset Overdrive looks fun. I don't know if I'll pick it up, to be honest. I was really excited for it when they first announced it because I thought that multiplayer was going to be a bigger focus for it. I've talked on the show before. I'm not like a huge campaign guy. Like I'll play campaigns here and there. It really has catch my attention though, and like it's looking stylistically and story-wise, it's looking like a comedic Dead Rising kind of approach. So I don't know. Looks okay. After watching the videos, like from the videos I've seen today, plus the ones I watched this morning, most excited coming out of Gamescom, Master Chief Collection, Halo 5 beta, 7 maps or beta, 3 weeks. That's insane. That's basically a game. So you can play the full game pretty much, or a game and a half in Judgment's case. Wild looks really cool. I am surprised by that. That's stuff which, well, it looks good. What you guys are saying in chat, additionally, seems even cooler. So, Wild looks cool. Bloodborne, really cool. So those are like my top 4 from Gamescom stuff I've seen. Exclusive DLC deal? Does that include monsters for Evolve? Premium downloadable content. Oh, it's first. It's time exclusive. Time exclusive, so lame. There's so much to play on Steam. If I wanted to spend money all the time, I could just look through Steam and find stuff to play instantly. I've also got games that like I started to play but haven't touched in a while. So like, I'm currently playing through Divinity, but I want to hit back Age of Wonders 3 because they did a few balance patches which I thought were necessary and stopped me from playing earlier. So like, I want to go back and play Age of Wonders more. Civ's another one I didn't spend enough time on. Although I might just wait to the next one. Witcher 2 I started but didn't finish. Like, there's so much shit which I could be playing on PC now. I just instead play Dota all the time. Yeah, I'm really curious about Halo 5 map count as well, Koopa, considering that they've only talked about 4 before. They haven't talked about Big Team, which has also been a pretty big part of Halo in the past. And the beta will be solely focused on 4v4. PS4 share play? But you play local multiplayer with a friend who isn't in the same room as you. What's the purpose of that? An online local co-op experience. Oh, it doesn't require your friend to own the game in question. I see. So if there's a game that has local multiplayer, it will let you play it online with that person as if they were on the couch right next to you. That's pretty cool. If I'm understanding it correctly, that was Sony share play. When's the Halo tournament at Gamescom? Yeah, it's Friday. They're doing 4v4 on Sanctuary and Ascension on the new stuff, Halo 2 anniversary stuff. That's kind of I'm not a fan of pre-release tournaments, especially with cash on the line. That seems like, man, I would prefer in almost every case that money was put towards post-release tournaments, which everyone was aware of. I get it. I get the marketing side of it. But I really wish that same money was put elsewhere. We only have so much money to go around in the esports scene, especially for games like Halo, which don't have the largest communities in comparison to like Counter-Strike and Dota and all the big names now, League. And Titanfall community has been dropping pretty hard. I have my opinions as to why, but none of them are terribly interesting. So I think they're gonna have to go all in on the next Titanfall. I'd be surprised if they drop the franchise, but TF2 when it comes out, I assume it'll be multi-plat probably. They can swing for the fences. Their DLC has been solid, and it's a fun game. It's just it wasn't fully done, in my opinion. Especially the outer game stuff and their attempts at campaign, pretty crappy. We got as part of our sponsorship. You check down. Oops, it's over there. Down there. Sponsored by Razer. They're really nice headphones. They're brushed aluminum. And the camera's over here. Look really nice. Audio quality is pretty good. Titan 2's multi-plat, it's going to be fine. Yeah, I mean, it did okay on PC. I don't know how many people it will gain on PlayStation, to be honest. I'm sure it'll get a large amount, but like PlayStation multiplayer has never really been huge. Like, even like you look at Killzone's numbers, not that great. I'd say Titanfall 2 is probably around or greater than Killzone's population currently. Yeah, I think a real campaign, a better like introductory tutorial type stuff would be better. And matchmaking sucked at launch, which killed it so bad. When will Titanfall 2 come out? They haven't announced anything. They say they're still working on Titanfall, and they still haven't finished all their stuff they've announced, so it'll be a while. In Middle-earth Shadow Mortar, we showed the initial gameplay reveal on the show a while back. I'd say probably 2016 for Titanfall. I'd be surprised if it was next year. Yeah, Middle-earth looks cool. It comes out around the same time as Aliens. I don't know which I'll end up picking up. So I probably will only pick up one of them. Yeah, I'm thinking Alien Isolation. Yep, Battlefield has more people playing. Battlefield's also been on the PlayStation 4 for a long ass time. and it has a huge European population with Battlefield. I don't think there's much crossover between populations, I guess, is what I'm saying. Like, it's a bit different when there's console exclusive games, and it's also a bit different when you have a like super blockbuster game like Battlefield, which has been around on PlayStation since I don't know, probably like 2005 or 2006. Like that was when people were playing on Battlefield. It's like that population's grown over time, all the way through Bad Company and then Battlefield 3 and Battlefield 4. I don't think it's the same as just releasing a game and getting a new population. Yeah, there's populations for Battlefield because of it all being dedicated servers. You can search it all online. It's also kind of a numbers game. There's more PlayStations sold than Xboxes currently. Hardline. No, I probably won't get Far Cry. I'm not really excited for Hardline either. I think we're good to start wrapping it up. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Again, this week was a little bit different because KL was going to be flying to Gamescom today, so he's still at the airport until their flight got canceled. So we'll be back next week. KL will be joining me again, and we'll be talking about whatever the hell happens this week, as we usually do. What about Titanfall versus COD stuff? We talked a little bit earlier about, a little bit earlier on the show about the Titanfall COD comparisons, and Crysis was the other one which I threw in there. If you go to the VOD, you can check that out, Kevin. All right, so we're going to wrap it up. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. Again, thanks for bearing with me. Even if none of you guys hopped in chat, I'm kind of disappointed. Hit me up on Twitter if there's a reason that you don't hop in the chat or into the open call. Like, if there's something that would make you more inclined to do it, let me know. Maybe it's Google Hangouts sucks. It's too much of a barrier. You want to have it easier. You don't want to be on for the full show. You just want to talk about specific topics. Any reason, feel free to hit me up on Twitter. We'd like to do more open call stuff in the future, but it hasn't really been successful because we don't have a lot of people that want the spotlight, I guess. So thanks for watching, guys. See you next week. This is Frag Logic number 80. Peace.